So, let's see.
So I don't know if anyone has any other questions, but I think the biggest thing that I've learned so far from Thad as well as other people is that don't skimp on advertising. Don't rely on HQ. Spend $1,500 a month. You know, don't say don't don't think that spending more money on advertising is a bad thing because I've just heard from too many people with successful facilities tell me that the more you spend on advertising, the better. But don't spend anything less than $1,500 a month. And I know there is a baseline that says a minimum of 1,000, but I've convinced myself that I'm not going to spend less than 1,500. Um, so that as well as don't think you're going to do this by yourself because if you do, it's committing suicide. It really is. I'm seeing some people um, that I've spoken to who are literally trying to do things on their own, spending vast amounts of time doing their training, offering things in their facility that is really outside of the model of Fit Body Boot Camp. And
Yeah, we can talk about that too if you want to.
yeah, please
I
go ahead.
forgot that's on my notes.
Yeah.
Let me see. We obviously hit the there's a lot of questions. You will see these questions pop up over and over again in the Fit Body family. Should I do youth classes? What about personal training, building a gym inside my gym, like with equipment? Let me see. Should I supplements? I want to make a snack bar. All this stuff. The the real question, I mean, is you have a certain amount of square footage, and is the wisest choice to use that square footage for something else other than what you're doing? And I think a lot of people don't realize how important using their square footage efficiently is. If you can only run 20 people in a class, you're going to be utilizing a personal trainer for that time. You're going to be forced to run more classes. Now, however, if you can run 30 people in a class, you are going to be able to use less training slots, use less personal training time. It's going to maximize your overall use of that space. So if you ask a question like, should I install some weight equipment because I like to do CrossFit, I want to do CrossFit over here, it damn well better be more profitable than having 10 extra people on the floor. And I seriously doubt if, you're seriously lowering your capability to make profit. Because I mean, you could be talking about 100 extra members you'd be fitting in, so you could personal train someone, twice a week, and maybe have 5 clients, or something. It rarely, and this is actually from Bedros himself, and I asked him about this too, and he's like, every time I've seen it work or people try to do it, the amount of money they could have made with that extra floor space was nowhere. They wasted it because they wanted to do this personal training. His personal training is their passion, I have no doubt. But same with a juice bar. Same with people want to do youth classes. Not saying it can't work. I've never had it work for me. We've tried kids boot camps in the summer. All it did was cost trainers, and it didn't really make us much money, and took extra time to plan and all these other things. So is it worth your time? Because your time is money, and is it worth your floor space? So and don't. It's easy, especially when you start out. You just want to try everything out, and
Yeah,
it's
that's this is I agree with you 100%. And I'll go back to our first Zoom call with a fellow named Alex Dominguez, and he said that, and and
mhm.
and and I think it's really really true that he one summer ran a kids camp, and he said, yeah, it worked out okay, but he's never going to do it again because more than it takes up the physical real estate. It
Mhm.
takes up that. But more than anything, it took up his mental real estate. It took
Yep.
his attention away from his core business. And he just couldn't do it. He realized he's got to stick to what we are really good at. That's a 30-minute high intensity interval training for the people that, are our target market, you know.
Yeah, I mean, well, you can be focusing on making what are you going to make a few hundred extra bucks a month off of a kid's boot camp? I mean, or it's gonna take away from your mental capacity. That's a really good point. It's just um, it's I absolutely agree with it. In fact, we're expanding our West Palm studio because we're running 20 and 25 person classes, and I didn't design. I'm going to go off on a tangent here. I can go into some mistakes that I made when we first opened, if you'd like me to, or I can hit up.
No, mistakes are what we want to hear about.
All right. One of the first mistakes. Let me check my notes here. Off. Let's see here. All right. So, I mean, one of our mistakes when we first started was not realizing how valuable floor space was. So this goes into the things you put in. How big is your lobby? How big is your? You're gonna have a kids room. I think kids rooms are cool. I love having a kids room, but how big is it going to be? How much floor space is it going to? How much storage do you need? Because you really are taking away from your profit capacity. Do you need an office that's closed off so you can talk to people while sessions are going on? I see some of these super open format fit bodies, but what people don't realize is every time the phone rings, you got to walk outside to talk on the phone. Things like that. So we made our lobbies too big. We made our lobbies too big in our first two places. And I'm in the process of expanding our first one, and then we're probably going to remove the kids' room on the second one. And we had 2,700 square feet for our first two locations. Our new rule now is to try to shoot for 3,000 or more. I'm not saying you have to. You can have a very successful fit body location at 2,500 square feet. But again, if you can get that extra floor space, it's gonna increase your profitability. I mean, that's one way. Matt Wilbur up in Michigan, that's one reason he's so successful is he's running a session with 40 people on it. And I mean, you don't have to run as many sessions. It just doesn't require as much trainer as much trainer input, to be able to run those larger sessions. So, yeah, really think about space and how you're using it and what you need it for. I thought we needed big lobbies. I don't know why. I like this idea of the hangout area and supplements, so I could make an extra nothing a month off supplements and sell T-shirts to people because it felt good. But we still sell T-shirts, but it's just not as necessary as I thought.
I think what I'm hearing is the floor space is really your profit center.
Yeah,
being able to fit 100 people in there. There's a fella near me who's going to open soon, and he asked me, about the lobby space. What do you think? And I told him, make it as small as possible. Make your workout space as big as possible. And he actually, because there's some extra space that he thought. I told him, don't do anything other than what Fit Body Bootcamp is good at. And he threw something out there, and I said, get it out of your head, please. If you have to, maybe just use it for some storage, but get it out of your head because you're just gonna add complexity and then give yourself more problems. So yeah.
It's I mean, one other thing is just know your pricing model when you start. I was under when we started we signed on at the end of 2015 franchise agreement. Fit Body Bootcamp was a lot different of an animal. They've really grown and really changed. Franchise fee was a considerable amount less, but it was a lot less too as far as the amount of support and just overall standardization of the way things are done. There wasn't much. It was paint your place red, white, and blue. Here, use this logo and let us know if you need a hand. Here's the format, and come here. We went out. I think Jody went out for a day or two of training, and then see how the sessions went, and then it went. But when we opened, we also didn't really know exactly. We thought we were supposed to go up to 197. I don't know if this is because I thought we were required to, and we thought we weren't allowed to be under 147. And so we set our founders memberships at 147, and we tried to make our way up to 197. And here's a mistake you guys can all make is in accounting, in this business, anything I do, I hate looking at numbers. because, well, really, it's either fear or laziness. I don't know what it is, but I don't like looking at what's really going on. I just like to drive through and say, screw it, we can make it. So we're moving our way up. We went to 197. So provide value. Bedros says, the higher the price, the higher the value. Don't devalue yourself. And true to an extent, but not in our situation. At least I don't believe. Maybe we sucked a little bit. I don't know, but we found out when we finally decided to step back and look at what's going on. She should have done 6 months prior. The only people sticking with us were people on discounts, on teachers' memberships, which you have a special discount for, or our founders. And our founders were slowly dwindling too. So we were clawing by. We were barely profitable. We were making it. But for the first year and a half, we found out we were basically going from challenge to challenge. Woo, made $20,000. Woo, made $10,000 challenge, all these things. But we weren't keeping people at all. They'd sign up, stay the first month at 97. We give them half off the first month, and then they disappear the next month or two. 197 is just way too much. And then, by golly, we were stuck at around 170, 180 members, I think. And then we decided to do this at both locations. We dropped our prices, and by golly, retention went up. So we moved all of our founders down to 127, and we moved all of our regular people to 157. And then we still have some other discounts after that, and that really helped retention. But in parts of California, and I think probably some people from HQ just made an assumption when I said Palm Beach Fit Body Boot Camp. I don't think they realized we're in West Palm Beach, a little different. But I think they assumed, you're out there with Trump and all that. No, it's not where we're at. I don't know if you know the area, but it's not the land of, it's not Palm Beach Island. That's two different areas. And so don't devalue yourself, but don't think you're God's gift to fitness either, and think you can just go out charging, that you're just going to force it in there, and you're just going to force it. It was tough. And like I said, we went from challenge to challenge, and that was what sustained us, because we could sell the challenges, and they were all, what were a challenge cost? Around $150. So another note on this, one mistake that a lot of owners make is they start out with $97 as their membership rate, and they have way too many of them. I've never done 97 as a founder's membership, but and I'm not opposed to it. It just scares me a little bit. If you're going to do it, I would suggest not selling too many and working your way up to 127 or maybe 117, 127 for your founders, and keep edging it up. But there are owners that have sold far too many 97, and it's tough to survive 200 members you have 200 people paying only 97. So, because with 200 people, your expenses are probably going to be right around $20,000.
Hey, I want to make a comment. Everybody talks about Matt Wilbur, right? He's the most successful owner in the system. And I went to his domination workshop, and I was shocked to learn that his, annual monthly memberships are $127 a month.
Yep.
Now
we were too.
Yeah. So, but when you go to his facilities, he has very large facilities. The newer ones are. His first one probably isn't that big, but his newer facilities are very large, and he does huge volume. On a busy day, he could have 80 people on the floor. But for most of us, we're not going to have that capacity, right? So, pricing is important and value is important. So while I think at some point, in my territory, I think maybe at some point after I open, I can settle in at 197, but it's probably for the foreseeable future going to be somewhere between 147 and 167, something like that. So, until we get to a place where we're at capacity, I think 197 is just a future target.
Yeah, Jody took our manager up there to the domination workshop with her, and we were pretty darn surprised too. And in fact, I was disappointed in HQ, because I that wasn't really made clear to me. And I'm like, well, hold on, one of the most successful fit body boot camps isn't even at 147. I had thought we were supposed to be at least no lower than 147, and we were a little pissed off about it actually. But I'm happy where we're at now. It's I think of anything else. We embrace the full-time salary model instead of part-time. We start off with part-time trainers. Some people do part-time trainers, and they're fine. We found that to get the culture going, part-time trainers kind of view their job as just another gig, and you'll get some great part-time trainers, I'm sure. But if you get to the point where you can, and I understand it might be daunting to hire a full-time salary trainer right off the bat, where you're kicking out, 35,000 a year to them, but you'll get a person that is dedicated to their job there, and that's what they do, and that will help you out with the culture. So I think the way to go is salaried when you can do it. Obviously, you're probably going to start with some part-time hourly, but salaried, and then when you can do it, I want to do medical benefits too. Now I'm about to start those for two of our locations in a month, and just really take care of the trainers and let them be happy and proud of their job. And it's not just a side gig for them. They're not going out to train someone else. That's their job, and so they really become part of the family. I think more than a part-time trainer is apt to become. So, any other questions? Have to leave later, Tanya. I probably missed those a while back. Did Brunetta want to chime in on Facebook ads anymore? Did she already talk to that?
Dylan does.
I just wanted to make sure that the other owners knew this, because you've been at this for so long. It's totally, here's the extreme ownership. It's totally my fault. We started way too late on our ads. Okay. So what I've done is I've started doing posting. I've hired somebody to do marketing for us. So, but when you're a brand new marketing account on Facebook, you're highly, highly scrutinized because there's so many scammers. So for all of the people who are listening who are months out, start advertising now, because you need to establish yourself on Facebook as an honorable person. So it will behoove you to start, for multiple reasons, to start advertising as soon as you can.
That's a good tip. I didn't really know that, but it definitely makes sense. And you'll probably get ads disapproved. You'll have to appeal them, and you'll learn all the ins and outs. Like, don't use language that makes people feel bad about their bodies. Don't know before and afters of any kind. You'll just find some pictures and videos that perform for you, and you'll probably be fine with an opening giveaway. It's sometimes I find some of my issues with disapprovals happen the most when I talk about length of time or results. You have to really be careful when you talk about results achieved in a certain length of time. So you have to don't say you're going to lose 20 pounds in a week, or something, or in 2 months or whatever. They'll knock that right out of the park. But we pretty much just all of our ads talk about what we offer. 21 days of unlimited sessions. And,
But Dylan, you make a huge point about starting early, and the reason I reached out to Thad was because I talked to Antonio, a FitPro tracker, and I told him, I'm not sure I'm ready to sign up for FitPro tracker just yet because I'm so far out. And he made the point to me and mentioned Thad down in Del Rey, who started marketing 6 months out, and has 1,200 leads. And I thought, well, okay.
I got over 2,000.
Oh, sorry. You got 2,000. Okay. So then, and that's why I wanted to talk to Thad. And so when I had a conversation with him, I was like, oh my God, I got to figure out a way to get this guy on the call. And I've realized that there's absolutely no reason for me to wait, even though I'm, between 6 to 8 months out from opening. I've decided to get started right away. So yeah, Dylan, 100%, I'm on board. Thad too.
Cool.
So look, I mean, Thad, I knew that when I talked to you and you agreed to be on this call, I knew it was going to be a long call, and I knew there were going to be a bunch of questions and a lot to learn. And in fact, it's been over 2 hours, and I can't
Well,
thank you
I
enough.
knew it too. I have a passion for helping out people as much as as much as I do for helping people, with fitness and health. It's just and I'm happy. It's no issue at all. If anybody has any more questions, don't feel bad. I'm willing to talk about anything that I can help out with. My wife Jody and I are still learning, trying to figure things out, but no problem at all. I'm happy to.
I still have a question, if that's okay.
Yeah.
You alluded to earlier, Club Ready, that you're not really using it. You're sticking with FitPro Tracker. My question is, we've used Zen Planner at our previous partnership location.
Okay.
As of late, I've been like totally immersed in Club Ready.
We're not open yet, so we've had the luxury of spending a lot of time
Nice.
with Club Ready.
Yeah, I get familiar with it.
So,
Well, we're still using Club Ready.
oh, you
You
are?
are, okay.
Yeah, you can't get around that. Club Ready is, for billing, handling memberships, all that. FitPro Tracker is really for lead follow-up, handling your prospects and setting up campaigns for current members also. But it's primarily, the strong suit is following up with leads and having that campaign ability. So, which Club Ready just flat out sucks at. It's one thing I'll poo-poo on HQ for is that they sold this Club Ready thing to be it's going to replace Scipio. We used Scipio, by the way, before, which is a texting platform.
Right.
It's going to replace this. It's going to replace that. And so far, I haven't seen. The only thing I see that it replaces is our credit card processor, and they follow up with people who have disagreements, and I forget what it's called, but they deal with all that stuff, so you don't have to deal with it. That's cool.
Chargebacks,
But,
yeah.
Yeah, I don't. My wife and I aren't really a fan of Club Ready yet, but we're using it because we have to. And for lead follow up and all that, it's just nothing compared to FitPro Tracker, and just being able to see a conversation between whoever it is, between a lead and your admin and one coach, and the coach texted them here, or the admin texted them here, your lead person or called them here. It's just that power is not something I found anywhere else. So
That is in Club Ready, because I've been at it exhaustively.
Mm-hmm.
You're able to follow the conversation. So if you have a call with a member, the disconnect with what I'm not happy about Club Ready is that when I email them through Club Ready and they respond, the response doesn't come in through Club Ready.
Yeah.
It comes through my Google Mail. So then I'm like, well, wait a minute. They answered me in Google Mail, but it's not tracking what they said in the email. So, and that's something they're going to fix, which I was pretty surprised at, that it's supposed to be so robust.
And the texting that you get charged for, you can only do 1,000 texts. That makes it tough. The campaigns for texting just don't really exist, I don't believe, and nothing compared to FitPro Tracker anyway. And you have your own phone number, and all the email traffic is in this. So the text, the email, and everything is in the same conversation.
Yes.
And you can even call from there using a mic on your computer.
From Tracker.
Yeah. Using from your FitPro Tracker number, which is just a voice over IP line they give you. So that's pretty nice. Now Club Ready does, if I never knew about FitPro Tracker, we'd use the tools it has, and it has some good stuff. But it's that whole conversation when somebody emails you back, it's just not there. And then we can also tag people in a conversation so that just a coach. One powerful thing about FitPro Tracker is we've assigned we have accountability coaches for each one of our members. Mm-hmm. So someone joins in a regular old 21-day challenge. There's an entire campaign of messages, texts, and emails that come from that coach. And that coach is assigned. So when that person who joins our challenge, hey, should I be eating this and this? The coach, they check FitPro Tracker once a day. They respond back to whatever text, email, or whatever they got from that member. And so it's actually an accountability coach set up all the way through there.
And you're able to see it as well, right?
We're able to see it as well. We can see all the traffic for every person, and that is pretty nice. I I don't think that function. Yeah, you can't have individual coaches with assigned to people. It would be very. I don't think it's possible in Club Ready either. So we're
You
using it for now.
Hey guys, so if I can chime in real quick, because I've been taking advantage of the Club Ready webinars with Araya, and I'm in Fit Pro Tracker. By far, I mean, I'm a Fit Pro Tracker supporter. The biggest thing is I want more of a holistic view, and Fit Pro Tracker gives you that. The dashboard is better, and just the tasks, the way that the tasks load up for you is better, so you have better visibility of everything. And for continuity purposes, it's amazing because, like I mentioned earlier, with everybody being able to see the notifications, yeah, it might seem annoying because you have to clear notifications that weren't for you. But at the same time, there might be something that if somebody's out, you can jump in on and assist with that. So there's coverage. With Work It in Club Ready, it doesn't always work out to where you can find stuff easily. I think it's a lot harder for me. I don't know. I want one snapshot. So that was my biggest thing with Fit Pro Tracker.
Is there an app for Fit Pro Tracker, or is it just on computer?
No, you can use it on your phone though.
You can.
Yeah, it's. I think it's just on the website, but Jody has done. She's sent. I'll be driving the car, and she goes, "Up! I just texted 2,000 people." She'll do texting campaigns, and I'm like, "Yeah." So I mean, you can do. And there's the other thing is, I don't know what magic Fit Pro Tracker's running, but Club Ready doesn't allow mass texting without some type of they agree to be texted. And okay, that's fine. I understand the ethics of it, but they did sign up and say they wanted to be part of this. So Fit Pro Tracker just lets you text people. It doesn't screw around. I think if you were in Europe, it might be different, or Canada, but I don't think we're in the U.S. There's any legal issue against texting somebody who.
There has been a lot. There have been a number of lawsuits. One in particular with the Purple Place. Don't feel bad about yourself.
Planet Fitness.
Planet Fitness.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there have been it's $1,500 per offense.
Oh
so
yeah.
It can get very sticky with the texting. You just have to be careful for mass texts.
Yeah.
Antonio did put in, and they're working on the opt-out. So if somebody opts out, it will block them when you're trying to mass text. It won't send it to them. But you can get around that law by actually texting them individually. So that's what is allowed. That's been a thing of discussion on the Fit Pro Tracker.
And you can
Facebook.
do that Fit Pro Tracker. You can send one at a time to 100.
Absolutely. No, absolutely. Well, you can go in there and do individual conversations, or you can bulk SMS or bulk email. So that's the beauty of it. You can, and you can set up templates. So like for us, when we get leads in, we have specific templates that my admin goes in and sends. If it's a 3-day session, 3 free sessions sign up, then our first template may be, hey, thanks so much for your interest in Westwood Fit Body Bootcamp. We're so, let's get you set up for your first session, blah, blah. That template is set up. She just has to click on it and send. So you don't have to type it out every time. So it is really helpful.
Gotcha.
Absolutely. Yeah. And like what I said with our Delray, our launch formula has been built around somebody signs up for a giveaway, and shortly after they receive an automatic text that says, hey, thanks for signing up. You're entered. If you want more information on our opening challenge, say yes, or text me back yes, and I'll I forgot the exact text we used, but and we think we've had 800 people text us back.
Wow.
And just on that, just saying we've had 800 yeses back, and they automatically get put in our prospects. So that's been pretty cool, and then then we start a texting conversation with them. So.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That's really helpful, Thad.
Jody is really the genius on Fit Pro Tracker and Club Ready. It's not me. She's really, we come up with the ideas together, but she's kind of the Fit Pro Tracker technician.
We'll friend her.
It's always the wives that are like the geniuses.
Devil's in the details. That's what
Thank
an
you.
old chef used to say to me. Devil's in the details.
Yeah, they read directions and stuff like that. It's like ridiculous.
Instructions.
Not gonna do it. No.
That's what he always hired bakers because the women were more precise, and because baking is more precise than cooking. Hired women bakers because the devil. Okay, enough about that.
Yep. All right. Thank
Hey,
you.
Dad,
Stop talking.
Yeah.
one question to you is, do you still have the Groupon that HQ set up?
I never let HQ set up a Groupon.
Okay.
I told HQ, I said, well, here's the thing. HQ, I believe, it's based on the number of members you have. So I opened up with 200 each time and around that number. And HQ didn't force any Groupon on me because we didn't need Groupons. But I have tested out tons of various Groupons on my own. And for all of you listening, if you're going to start off with Groupon, don't go try to make one yourself. You're connected with Fit Body Bootcamp, so they will assign you a Groupon account manager, where they will help you put together your Groupon. And it gets, not only does it get way more show, it gets sent out in Groupon emails and tons of free leads. The obvious downside of Groupon is the people on there. Say you're doing a low barrier offer at 21 days for $21 or something. The people that would see that on Facebook are just seeing it and they're like, oh, cool, yeah, and maybe they click on it and sign up. The people on Groupon are there expressly for a super cheap deal. Like, let's go find a place to work out for cheap, and they're not. It's you get a lower quality lead on stuff like that. If you ever go on Fit Body Family, you'll see a post that I made, how excited I was about Groupon, and how we were kicking ass with Groupon, and all these leads coming, all these people. I believe I redacted it in some comment below it and found out that we really weren't keeping these people. We were kicking ass with it. I mean, bringing them in. I set up a 5-class, 10-class, 15-class pack. My own design I did, and it was like $10 for the 5-class pack and 20 or something for, the 15-class pack. And we did that, but it's hard to serve them because no nutrition's involved. There's no accountability. It's just people coming in to work out. So what I've done now, we decided now was, if we're going to do a low barrier offer, we're going to serve them completely. We're going to serve them. And so I made a 21-day Groupon, which was a 21-day challenge. And they get full nutrition, accountability coach, body composition tracking, all this stuff, only $21. And we ran that for a while, and it seems to have worked a lot better. I like that better. But still, Groupon, you're going to get lower quality leads. But once you get them in your gym, it's just like everything else. Love them and serve them and show them value. And like nothing else. Now, I just turned off our 21-day, and I worked with the account manager, and I'm starting up a 6-week Transform You challenge that Jody and I are putting together, and it's called Transform University. And I might release it for everybody else or in the future, but it's a full package of educational package along with unlimited workouts and body composition tracking, accountability coach, all that good old fashioned stuff. But each week gets a video series from Jody that her and I put together, and where we go over mindset, nutrition hacks, motivation, just lots of stuff like that for 6 weeks. We'll see how that goes. But Groupon's letting us sell that for $197. So I'll see if Groupon works at a high price like that. If it does, so I'll let the Facebook group know. So it'll be a good test.
Hey, Thad.
Hey, what's up, Jeff?
Hey, so I've heard the same comment from other people about Groupon, that the quality of leads is not that great and the conversion is really, really bad. So question is why are we still doing it?
It puts people in your gym. And there's a lot of things that, here's a question. Why are we on this call having this discussion in the first place? I mean, really, and I've talked to Quan about this, but like we have a formula that we know that works. Matt Wilbur has a formula he knows that works. And there's a lot of things we're doing that HQ needs to shape up on. And I've actually complained to HQ about this specific matter, and they said they're working on something right now about it. I don't know, but I kind of bitched at them. I'm like, I'm tired of seeing people struggle in the beginning when they don't have to. I said, you guys know what works. You know, Matt Wilbur's formula works. Where's our ultimate transformation challenge? That's in essence, that's what I asked for. You know, why don't we have a 6-week ultimate transformation challenge you guys put together for someone to use at launch if they want to? Sure, they can do whatever they want to, but why not give them the resource? Tell them it works. It's just, and you know what? There's lots of people that have been successful without it. Just saying, it's what works for me, and I don't know any other way to do it.
Thank you.
So I just want to touch on expectations for the new owners on the Groupon.
Yeah.
The way that it is, because I just inquired about this. I've been getting people walking through the door saying, hey, I purchased a Groupon. Here's my voucher. I didn't get any email like it says I was supposed to. And I tried calling, I guess, the headquarters number because it's run by HQ. So they weren't getting a hold of anyone. And obviously we weren't getting told as a facility that someone purchased a Groupon. So I pinged HQ. I pinged Nathan and I said, hey, how can I know when someone purchased a Groupon? And he explained that because we're a franchise, the way Groupon is set up, there is no way to know when somebody purchases until they reach out, which I think is poor customer service.
Yeah.
Especially when like the FAQ sheet that's uploaded in the Groupon talks about a 4-week and a 6-week challenge, not even what they're advertising, which is a 3-week and a 5-week just trial. So I'm going to turn it off because I understand it is leads, but I'm going to set my own up. The one for HQ is just, and then when they purchase, it shows up 2 locations. So, and mine doesn't show up. So there's a lot of glitches. So just know you may get people walking in saying, hey, I purchased a Groupon, and just be apologetic about it and set them up for their first session, you know, but there's not a good system with it, which is my gripe with the whole program.
The biggest benefit of the Groupon too is upsell after they're in there. And it is tough. I mean, when they're paying $10, or if they were there on vacation and they just wanted to work out for a week, you know, but, we did class packs, and you can fill your gym with those 5, 10, 15-day class packs. It's just you gotta have a good upsell. That's good knowledge, though. I mean, if you can turn off your Groupon, absolutely turn it off and design something yourself if you're allowed to. I don't know the rules on that, to be honest.
I think it's after 90 days of being open, from what one of the other owners told me. She set up her own.
Yeah, that's correct. 90 days. 90 days is correct.
Yeah,
but what they're advertising is a 3-week for $49 and a 5-week for $69. And on the website, they advertise a 3-week for $67. So people are confused, like, okay, and I've had a lot of people who are ready to sign up for a membership and at our charter 107. And they're like, but I saw this Groupon, so I created an in-house 5-week. And I was like, okay, I'll sell you the Groupon right here. Here you go. Yeah. And so I had to settle for locking them in for 5 more weeks at another discounted, $69.
Well, and another thing is that Groupon should have verbiage that says you can't be a current client. Because I know I put that verbiage in all of our Groupons, and for anything, you don't let people do challenges back to back. I mean,
they don't. They don't. No, but the word gets out, and so like, if somebody came in inquiring or something and they heard our members, because all our members are chatty Cathys and they all get along great. But when they come in early and they're just talking right around the admin desk, then people are ear hustling. So the word gets out, and we've had a lot of that word get out. And so, I was like, okay, well, I want the 5-week instead. So, cause I don't count the 3 free sessions, honestly, as a trial. So when they're doing their 3 free sessions and they hear about the Groupon, that it is what it is, but I have converted them from there. So, and another way to sell it is, okay, you know what? I'll give you the Groupon rate. I'll discount it from your first month. And, they sign an agreement, but the first month is discounted to the Groupon rate or something like that. So you still have them locked into the contract, and they're getting a deal in their eyes. You know what I mean? So,
And you've got people in your doors. I mean, I see a lot of people complain about it, but I mean, you got people in your doors. You have an opportunity to convert someone, and just view it as that. I mean, whether it be 90 days and you turn it off or what, right? It's what you got. Use it as a tool. I mean, unless you're full and your sessions are full and it's a huge problem, then you have no I don't think you have any reason to complain. If you get one member a month out of it, I mean, it's still worth it, you know?
And that's all it is, really. It's like one or two people every so often. It's more of a customer service complaint than anything else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I just gave the Bedros answer there. They're in your doors. Convert them. You know, show them value. I'm co-company man over here.
Look, I mean, I think we're all on board. I mean, we're all drinking the Kool-Aid because we love the business, but certainly there are things that we wish were done better. I remember having finished the university, coming back and thinking, boy, that's great. What the hell do I do now? You know, because I left the university thinking, okay, they did touch on some points, high level, but then it was just like, go ahead, go do it. And honestly, I was kind of like, well, do what? You know, and I don't consider myself terribly stupid, but it just felt like, that there are people out there with a lot of experience who had figured out a great formula. And so I made a commitment to talk to everybody and their mother. And I think I've done that. I think I've beaten this thing to death. I've spoken to so many owners, and I always ask the same question. And so I feel like I'm getting closer to understanding how to open like you did. But a lot of people, I'm shocked to realize a lot of people aren't doing that. They talk to one or two owners, they visit a couple of facilities, and they think they're ready to go. And that's just not how it goes. I mean, I've spoken to so many owners, and that's where I've gotten the vast majority of my of information is all the mistakes they made. And I think, boy, I can't make that mistake. So,
will it let me attach a file here? I was going to see if I could, is there a way I can do that?
How about you send it to me, email it to me, right? And then I'm gonna post this video because it's being recorded. I'm gonna summarize it. I'm gonna break this video up into maybe 2 or 3 pieces. I'm gonna summarize topics and include them in a file as well, and I'll attach your file as well.
Jody just sent me the our schedule for Delray Fit Body, what we're starting out with.
Oh, okay.
So you see, I'm going to send that to your Yahoo.
Yes.
And let me see. Oh, can't spell schedule. All right. Okay. Let me see. Eddie, I'll hit you up via email. All right. Is there any other questions?
Well, I don't have any. I mean, I feel like I squeezed out a lot of information from you. We did, but I'm sure as I go back over this video, things will pop up. I hope there's a separate matter I want to discuss with you sort of offline, and that won't be until probably you get back from that same location you're at, wherever you are.
I'm in Iraq right now. I always find myself here.
Yeah. So when you get back, I hope to discuss something with you that maybe will be to the benefit of.
I mean, we can meet up again if you want to. If you want to talk tomorrow or something, let me know.
Yeah.
I don't need to be back.
hopefully, I want to do something that obviously is, it's going to be good for me, but good for all new owners and others who are open as well.
Cool. Sounds good.
Thank
All
you,
right.
Thad. Appreciate it, Thad. Thanks a
Oh,
lot.
that's fun.
Thank you
Good
so much
stuff.
for your time.
Thanks for your service, by the way, and you and your wife.
Yes.
Thank you.
Oh,
Thank you for your service.
we're all just having fun. All right.
Oh.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Uh,
thanks, Quan, for sending this up. Appreciate it.
yeah, thanks, Quan. It's good, good stuff, Quan.
Guys,
Congratulations on
thanks, guys.
nomination.
Thanks a
Thank
lot.
you.
Talk to you later. Bye.
See you guys. Take care.
Kwang, you hang up first. No, you hang up.
No, you hang up.
Bye.
Bye.